So here we are, guys. We are officially less than 24 hours away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. It's been quite the journey for the past year, and honestly, it's been more of a journey the past 2.5 months since the Nintendo Switch 2, of course, was revealed on January 16th. And because of that, it feels pretty surreal to know that we are in the one-day countdown. For me, where I live, the Nintendo Direct for the Switch 2 is going to be airing tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., so really darned early. Luckily, it's enough time for me to get up and watch it and potentially make a video or a reaction with enough time to spare before I start work for the day. But boy, it's still going to be dark outside. I'm going to be relying on my coffee big time to make it through. Hopefully, some Metroid information might perk me up a little bit, which of course is one of the key talking points in this video, because we're in a post-Metroid Prime 4 Beyond world, and as you guys know, it's all I really care about. I'm almost more excited for a third look at Metroid Prime 4 tomorrow than I am for anything about the Switch 2, just because I'm so damned excited to finally play that game. That being said, with less than 24 hours to go until we see the Switch 2 Direct, I felt it would be prudent for me to make one final video kind of talking about the console, my excitement and hype, and not so much my broader hopes and expectations, because I could talk about new IPs and 3D Mario games and new Fire Emblem games or the return of Star Fox and all of these things that I would love to see confirmed tomorrow. But because of the current Metroid Prime 4 Beyond hype, I want to talk about what scenario we might be walking into tomorrow in which Metroid Prime 4 might again be discussed, might show us yet another trailer or sneak peek into the game, and more than anything, just give us the darned final exact release date. And so, to that end, I guess the main thing to start off with here is, do I think we will be seeing or hearing from Metroid Prime 4 during tomorrow's Nintendo Direct? And honestly, yes, I lean towards thinking that it is going to be there. And there are plenty of reasons to think that it won't be there. There's no way to be right or wrong until we actually see the show tomorrow morning. All any of us can do is guess. But in guessing, and also knowing that I'm kind of maybe relying on my Metroid super fandom here, I do predict and kind of expect for us to see the game shown tomorrow. And it's for two main reasons. One is, as we all know, we do need that final date, and I can only assume that they didn't give us the final date during last week's Nintendo Direct, where they showed this newest trailer, because they wanted to reveal it during the Switch 2 Direct, and also because it would be nice to just see even more about the game. There are so many questions still left on the table after that trailer, and of course I've talked about it because I've made like a 20 and a 30-minute breakdown video of just this trailer. I mean, that's how much I have to say, and we're still left with questions, and there are still more things that I want to talk about. It's incredibly exciting. But as amazing as that trailer was, it was kind of balancing between being like an overview deep dive with the narration and explaining with words some details about the game, but also it was a little less going for like excitement and pop. It was going for more informative. And I think a lot of people, this does not include me, I'm satisfied with the two trailers so far, but a lot of people are still waiting for that Metroid Prime 4 trailer that is really supposed to pop and have all sorts of pizzazz and come off like a movie trailer. And I understand why people say that, even though I don't think Metroid Prime fans should really necessarily need that based on what we've seen, but it is what it is. Some people desire that, and look, I also would like to see one like that. I'm not going to say that I don't want that. And so because of this, between giving us an official date and more of a cinematic trailer for Prime 4, it just feels like tomorrow is a day that it makes sense for them to give us both of those things. Not to mention that talking about and showing the game tomorrow at the Nintendo Direct might also be a way for Nintendo to confirm that there is going to be a Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4. Now, I haven't talked about this the past few days because since that Direct, the only thing I care about is Metroid Prime 4. But many people have discussed and noticed and pointed out that some verbiage Nintendo officially released on their website after the Nintendo Direct regarding the digital card sharing thing actually discusses what seems to be, I mean, it depends on how you're interpreting this, and we don't know until Nintendo tells us more, but there is a way to interpret this verbiage to make it sound like there are going to be regular Switch 1 versions of games, and then, of course, it references Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games. And that certainly sounds like there might be Switch 1 and Switch 2 exclusive versions. We might not be getting those upgrade patches that a lot of us have theorized might be a part of the Switch 2. And if that's the case, then why wouldn't there be a Switch 1 and a Switch 2 edition of Metroid Prime 4? And with not getting the date last week at the Direct and the show tomorrow about the Switch 2, all of the stars are aligning, in my opinion, to probably give us an official date, new info and a new trailer, and confirm a Switch 2 edition of Metroid Prime 4, which could also mean it might be a launch title for the Switch 2, which I've predicted for a long time, and personally, I want it to be a launch title. Now again, this is all predictions, this is all theories, I'm only guessing, I'm looking at the evidence I see, and as I said, the stars are aligning for these things to happen, but that is not a guarantee. So I'm just as open to Metroid not being there at all, and maybe it's not going to have a Switch 2 edition. Perhaps they just really didn't feel confident giving us the official date in the Nintendo Direct last week, and the Switch 2 Direct will happen tomorrow. Metroid will be a no-show, and we have to continue to wait for more trailers, more footage, and the official date for the Switch 1 version of Metroid Prime 4 sometime later. That will be very painful for us to wait for, but at this point in the journey of Prime 4, just to have 2 trailers over the past few months and knowing that the game is scheduled for this year, while I'll be very sad to potentially not see Metroid tomorrow at the Switch 2 Direct, ultimately, I can wait. I am a patient guy. I just want to find out more about the game. I want to find out more about the Switch 2, and the Switch 2 really should be the focus of tomorrow. It doesn't need to be focused on Prime 4. I'm just a Metroid superfan. And as I said at the beginning, I really do care about a lot more than just Metroid on the Switch 2. Like I said, I want to know about the price, the release date. I want to know when I can pre-order. I want to know what's happening with the controllers. I want to see them show off more of the mouse functionality of the Joy-Con. I would like to see if there's some kind of a unique Pro controller for the console, what the UI is going to look like, what the online features are going to look like, and most importantly, other games. Give me a new 3D Mario. Bring back Star Fox. Bring back F-Zero. Show me several new IPs. I'd love to see a new Fire Emblem. I'd like to see Pikmin 5. I mean, show us what's happening with the new Mario Kart game and if that's going to be a launch day game or not. So I care about the wider picture, of course, because I'm so excited for a new Switch or a new Nintendo generation. But I'm also sitting here thinking about Metroid Prime 4 because that's what I do. So it's all a very long way for me to say that I'm just excited for everything happening right now in the world of Nintendo. It is keeping my passion for games ignited. The combination of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and the Nintendo Switch 2 in the near future is everything I need because my passion in this industry and in this hobby has absolutely been waning over the past 2 years in many ways due to the slowly dying physical media aspect, the introduction of the internet and social media, and just a lot of the business practices of this industry. It's just all getting worse to me. Not to sound like really negative, but I just have had this kind of growing negative sentiment towards gaming, and I've been relying a lot more on playing on all of my older retro consoles for the most part. So a Switch 2 and a Metroid Prime 4 game sometime soon, it's everything I needed, like I said, to keep me invested in this hobby, at least for now. And so to wrap up, the real question, like I said, we know we're going to get a ton of great, exciting, information and game announcements for the Switch 2 tomorrow, but will Metroid Prime 4 be one of them? Will they give us 2 deep looks into this game and an official release date over the course of 6 days between last week's Direct and tomorrow's Switch 2 event? I like to think that they will. I'm hoping to see Prime 4 there tomorrow. It's not going to ruin the show for me if it's not there, because I'm still looking at all of the other Switch 2 stuff and the other games. But I really do want to see it, so in a perfect world, we get the date and a new trailer for Prime 4 tomorrow, and it's just been Metroid overload for the past 6 days. That is my personal hope. So you guys tell me below, do you think Metroid will be there tomorrow or not? What else do you expect for the Switch 2 at tomorrow's show? Share with me how excited you are to finally watch this Direct after months of waiting. And with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys on the other side of the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct tomorrow.